Hi, my name is Pawel and I make games. Today we're gonna create a basic start scene which will be improved in the following episodes. It would be good to start with creating an empty game object to put everything we create in this episode there. It will be a scene 0 start. Let's reset its position and let's go to the scene 1 to disable it, and also we don't need to see the player, so disable her too. And first thing we need is a canvas. We don't need to touch anything here, so let's go to the UI Text Mesh Pro. There we need to use uppercase and put the name of our game here. Let's ignore the fact that it's a little bit too late for the Christmas theme, and instead let's change the font asset. And for the full happiness we need to change this wrapping to disabled. Now let's center this text and center it again, but in the different axis, and let's use line spacing to increase the spacing between the lines. Okay, so let's round it to 620. And now about the character spacing, let's stay with the 30. Maybe let's also add some word spacing, let's say 15. Now let's take care about the colors, so let's use color gradient and change the top left option to something grayish. And let's do the same with the top right. I use C3, 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 but you may use something totally different, you know, it's your game. And that's how we create the title. Now let's duplicate it and create play text in the same way. We need to change text here and we need to change the color. We'll just click this big bar and change it to something greenish. That way we will stay with those shadows. And I think it would look better if we just go to this restart button and copy its color. Now let's use it in the play text. Yeah, it looks good, but we better make it bigger. And the same is for the title. Maybe not that big, but 40 is good. Now let's quickly add a new image. Let's make it wider and move it a little bit down. Now as we change the alpha of it, you can see that its position is good enough and we don't need to care about it that much. We also need an event trigger and its pointer click. And for now let's just add a new element here. We are going to create a tiny function in the game manager. We can't just use this coroutine because it has 2 arguments and it won't show up in the event trigger. It will be a public void start game. For now let's just copy this coroutine and paste it inside the start coroutine function. Instead of the scene number we will use 0, and instead of the delay we will use 02. Now let's go up and see what we have. Room 1 is number 0, 2 is 1 and win the game is 2. Before we change anything here, let's go to Unity and in the game manager let's use scene 0 as the element 0, 1 as 1, 2 as 2 and 3 as 3. And we're gonna fix player start positions. Element 1 is for scene 1. So let's click on this player start position 1 to find it and use it as element 1. Now we need to use player start position 2 here, and we may use it again for the end game. Player will be disabled there, so we don't need to care about it. but if we don't use anything there, we get an error. Now let's quickly rename this item to play button and make the play text a child object of it. And finally we may go to this event trigger, put main camera there and use game manager dot start game here. Oh, and if you want to, you may copy this title to give some informations about the authors. For me, just Pawel makes games, and I will make it a little bit smaller and move it to the bottom. Yeah, it looks sweet. The title should be a little bit higher, and the same goes for the button. For now it's all we need to do in the start scene, so let's go to the player game object and set it active, but let's hide it, and let's play the game to see if we have any errors. As we click the play button, we see that the scene changes, but we are stuck in the first one. To fix this, we need to go to the game manager and change this 0 to 1. Now as we click play, we can play the game. Let's click on the plan to see what happens. Everything is okay, let's go to the room on the right. Oh, and now we are stuck there. The check special conditions function has all the numbers and we need to change this 0 to 1, this 1 below to 2 and this 2 in the last case to 3. Oh, and we need to change this number over here. Now our endgame is different. By the way, we will write it in a better way soon. Now we can go to the room on the right, grab the water and go to the room on the left again. Let's use the water to collect this plant and go back to the room on the right. Now to the big man. The plant bites him and they both disappear. We got a bottle, we can see it, but we got it. And we can use it with the Senna, and we win the game. So the game is basically finished, but we need to polish it up. Ooh, and we even can restart it and it doesn't break the game. In the next episode we will polish up the start scene. Have a good day and see you soon!